Young ladies and gentlemen, Russia has just carried out a major breakthrough in the heart of Ukraine, while President Vladimir Zelensky is doing his tours who fail, and that he makes a proposal, a diplomatic recovery of the four to talk about peace. Meanwhile, in this November 18th, 2025, Russia is only thrive ruthlessly on the field. And Russia, in the locality where Russia has just recovered, puts Ukraine in a real dilemma, a real dilemma that you cannot imagine. And so that means that as and when, as the hours, the days pass, that is to say, the minutes, the hours, days pass, Russia is just recovering the entire small Ukrainian territory on a small scale, since in this locality, Volchansk, Russia, Russian soldiers are in train of evolving into D of if above if, the new method that is used by Russia. It is extremely strategic from a military point of view. Very advantageous for Russia and extremely disadvantageous for Ukraine and NATO. Russia is angered by the massive strikes that we have seen in these last 24 hours. And already seeing that Ukraine Zelensky is out of touch, he wants a restart. Russia does not talk about peace. The fact that pressing the accelerator on the accelerators die. It is the locality of Skiloi which is fallen, which was taken by the soldiers Russians. The announcement was made by a military communique Russians who are on the ground. And until now, Western media have not. They don't even want to talk about it because this locality is of paramount importance. That was one of the major locks to make jump before going to another lock, including the same bet on this one would definitely allow the forces Russians to continue towards Kharkiv and to bring down Kharkiv for good. So within the framework of this conference, it is from this news that let's talk. But before we continue, agree to share the conference at maximum in all possible groups, as much as you can. Put in a lot of likes, and if this is your first time to find my video, you need to click on the subscribe button. Subscribe, that allows you to never miss out again the hottest news from moment. There, let's go into the depths. So, the announcement has been made, and by Russian military sources, a press release. According to the press release, this is the 82nd Regiment to Motorized Rifle of the Group North, who claims to have retaken the locality of Skiloi, located in the Kiev region. So they have resumed, because you are not without knowing that at some point the fighting was intense at the level of Kharkiv. Everyone who follows me here since the beginning of this conflict, we've been talking since 2022. I mean, we talked about this of ammunition were happening there. So there were some localities that were recovered quickly and brutally by Russia, but afterwards, with the intervention of NATO forces, the Russian soldiers retreated a little. So this time it's a remake. But this resumption is extremely strategic and beneficial on the military plan. And this Gelnoi is located in the Kharkiv area. Then these Gelnoi open on the side northeast of Volchansk. And Volchansk is a strategic city Ukrainian, which is close to the line head-on. Control the village of Kegelnoil, I was going to say, allows for threats. Directly Volchansk. So Kelnoil is there near Volchansk. Outside Volchansk, it's a lock. It's a very strategic city. So the fact that these Zelnoi fell, Volchansk is now threatened. And if the Volchansk's lock is broken, Kharkiv is definitively in the hands of the Russia. While we know what it represents, Kharkiv is one of the major cities Ukrainian women, some call him Kov. So what if Volchan threatened himself directly? This allows us to open up a path towards within Ukrainian territory. This is the very heart of the territory Ukrainian. And so, according to Moscow, there have been concrete operations. Russian forces repelled the Ukrainian units in the area. There were, of course, Ukrainian units, but which were rejected. After their departure, the town fell. Which makes what's worse is that every time the Russian soldiers are approaching, the Ukrainian soldiers take up arms of escapes. This denies weakness on the military front, a weakness on the economic plan, but also and above all, morally the citizens. And I was going to say the Ukrainian military is tired. Ukrainian citizens are also morally and mentally exhausted. And all the strategies that Russia used today against Ukraine, these strategies aim to continue to exhaust the morale of the Ukrainian population, thus only Ukrainian soldiers. Because what these soldiers they don't expect it. That's what Russia does. Let's go a little further. That's to say, When the Russian soldiers managed to repel the unit's Ukrainian women in the area, they have secured crossing points, woods, secondary paths, which has permitted to establish a bridgehead tactical. It must be said that for the moment, the independent media, nobody's talking about it because it's a victory that seems to be minor but extremely dangerous for Ukraine. So the military significance of this victory is a step forward that shows that Moscow adopts a method of phased conquest. A phased method of conquest. Moscow doesn't go there like that, like we, as he liked to say, in the Republic of Guinea. Moscow will step by step, but without to rest, no. And at the present time, if you see that Zelensky decided to go around and then proceed with his desire to revive peace, is because he wants to breathe. A little air, because it's very hot. Yes, Russia continues at this pace. It's just a matter of weeks and all of Ukraine will fall if Russia continues with this cadence. So then, and the repercussions. The reason is that Volchansk is threatened because Chelnoy has fallen. So, there is tactical pressure on Volchansk, and the loss of Cheselnoy will weaken the defensive coverage Ukrainian around Volchansk. More defense. So Volchansk is now exposed, and if Volchansk falls, this means that the Kharkiv is under control. So young ladies and gentlemen, the dilemma facing Ukraine is confronted. That is what needs to be done. Conquering Cheselnoy will cost dearly in human lives and in material. They won't even make it. Give up Cheselnoy will pave the way directly to the weakening of Volchansk. And if Volchansk falls, the bus has left. So that was the headline news. Please share it as much as possible. I'll come back with new information. That was the voice of your humble servant, Robert.